Hello guys, and welcome to the video that I hope you all have been waiting for. The Cerulean Timelines, Part 1. I'm really excited about this because I can actually share my ideas out to the world, and yeah, let's just start. Welcome to episode 1 of the Cerulean Timelines. In season 1, I will tell you stories about my version of the Halo timeline. And in episode 1, I will talk about what happened in Reach. Let's begin. Almost all the missions play out the same, so I will simplify the missions that didn't change when I get to them. In mission 1, we are introduced to our protagonist, J137, also known by the UNSC as Cerulean. He gets to Noble's base and gets introduced to Noble Team. Noble 1, Carter A259. Noble 2, Catherine B320. Noble 3, June A266. Noble 4, Emil A239. And Noble 5, George 052. After that, they get into the Falcon and go to where they think the rebels are doing some bad things. They get there and found no rebels, only farmers. After George and the rebels talk, they go to another spot and find something they wish they didn't. Covenant. They fight them off and get back to base. Noble Team makes their way to Oni's sword base to retrieve data to help them fight the Covenant. They get to the base and fight off hordes of Covenant and activate a comm ray and a big gun and retrieve the data. On the way back, they encounter a pair of hunters and Cerulean takes them both out. Then goes to the top floor of the base and takes out Banshees and Phantoms, and then watch a Covenant ship get blasted. Noble Team gets called to Halsey. Cerulean and June engage on a recon mission on Covenant forces in the Dark Zone, a Covenant occupied zone in the Very territory. After eliminating a few guard posts, they encounter a Guta, or the Guta, a Reach native species. They find a few militia troopers that tell them about the Hydro plant further into the Dark Zone. At the Hydro plant, they discover a Covenant stealth pylon, which June places a remote detonator on after a few firefights. After traveling further into the Dark Zone, they find a Covenant invasion force and a landing zone. Kat retrieves the visuals and tells everyone that they will have a big day tomorrow. The next morning, Auntie Dot briefs the Noble Team on the objective: destroy Tower 1. Cerulean and Kat lead the charge at the Covenant positions, and the Covenant blew up a bridge they were going to cross. They jumped the bridge and crashed, but they got back up and headed to Tower 1. Blew it up, and immediately after the UNSC Grafton blows it up, it gets beamed by the previously cloaked Covenant long night of solace. Noble Team makes their way back to base. After yesterday, Noble Team makes their way to a non-existent launch base in a non-existent land with non-existent ships, where Cerulean was never a pilot. After shooting through groups of Covenant, they make their way to the ships, also known as Sabers. They launch into... Alexa! Shut up. Also known as Sabers. They launch into space and fight loads of Space Banshees and Seraphs. Then, Cerulean drops off George at the station to get bombs. Cerulean and George go to a battlecruiser, destroy its thrusters, and and board it to plant the bomb. Bad news, something happened to the bomb and it can no longer remote detonate. George stays behind to detonate it and sacrificed himself thinking he just saved the planet. Then the UNSC find out that more Covenant fleets jumped here from High Charity. Everyone is in a panic. After Cerulean fell from space and somehow didn't die, he picked up a pistol and headed for New Alexandria. Cerulean finds army forces and fights brutes for the first time. By the way, these brute designs are my least favorite. He helps them evacuate. He helps them evacuate Traxxas Tower. But arrives too late as a Covenant ship has already positioned itself on above the tower. Cerulean then acquires a jetpacks and hook up with a group of ODSTs known as the Bullfrogs. This is where he meets ODST Evan, the guy on the thumbnail, who will become a longtime friend to Cerulean. They go on to capture a landing pad and evacuate civilians on a Pelican. Cerulean then gets on a Falcon to provide air cover for evacuation crafts leaving the city. Cerulean helps army troopers clearing away to the missile beacons. I'm just so tired. I can't really speak that well anymore. Cerulean was informed that the Covenant have jammers all around the city. He mounts up on a Falcon and goes to the jammers. One at the New Alexandria Hospital, another at Club Era, and during this part he interrupts the guards having a party. I don't know why, but at the last one in a penthouse at the Synovia Center. During this, he also helps finish tasks like escorting a Pelican and taking out shade turrets. After taking out the jammers, Cat orders Cerulean to come to the Oni Tower and take out the shade turret so Pelicans can leave the building. Cerulean links up with the rest of the Noble team in the building. He informed everyone about George's death. During the blasting in the building, everyone escapes the building via elevator. And right after the ride, Cat gets shot in the head. After the glassing, Noble team got orders to destroy Sword Base. Where are they? Cerulean, ODST Evan, and a small group of ODSTs infiltrate Sword Base and stumble upon a Scorpion tank. They use it to take out the anti-air guns. Cerulean arrives at Sword Base and pushes through only to find nothing. Auntie Dot informs Noble Team that the coordinates have changed, and suddenly an elevator door opens and they go inside. During the ride, Holly FaceTimes them on her sweet new iPhone 168. She informs them that she has a package and we need to deliver to the Pillar of Autumn. And to hold off the Covenant while she gets ready. After she lets them inside, she hands Cerulean a part of an AI known as Cortana. On their way out, Carter orders June to escort Halsey to safety. The rest of the Noble team head off to the Pillar of Autumn. On the way to drop off Cortana, Noble team is being pursued by Banshees, and Carter has been badly injured. Pelican was badly damaged. He lets Cerulean and Emil off and they begin pushing through to get to the ship. On their way, they encounter a Scarab and Carter gets his life by ramming the Pelican to the Scarab. Cerulean and Emil go farther and find Marine and have been fighting a huge number of the Covenant. They help them and encounter a pair of hunters and they take them out and get to a landing pad. And Emil takes the anti-air gun. They hauled off until Captain Keyes comes and picks them up. Picks Cerulean, Emil, and Evan up. During this, Emil gets ambushed by some elite zealots and kills one and almost gets killed by one from behind. He dodges and kills the elite. They get to the Pillar of Autumn and see Chief and Shayla, a new character, asleep. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm gonna post more videos like this in the future. I don't know when, but it will be in the future. All right. I hope you had a good day, and peace.